And so in Birmingham, my story is that my dad left the house, headed to the store, and essentially he never came home because he was murdered by someone who was in his mid-20s. And so even as we were going through that trial and the case was happening, and the testimonies were going forth, and the young man was telling his story, he essentially said that it was never supposed to happen this way. I was just trying to put food on the table, because it happened during an attempted robbery, right? And so that is why we can't talk about gun violence and public safety and not talk about issues like poverty, right? And not talk about issues like environmental justice, and not talk about issues like healthcare, and not talk about the fact that Alabama is investing a crazy amount of resources in building prisons and not investing directly into our school system, right? So we got to talk about education and the deficiencies, right, and the lack of resources that are being put into schools, that are being put into mental health resources, that are being put into programs that really help empower and help folks deal with a lot of this trauma and a lot of what they've experienced, right? And so I think that a lot of those conversations have to happen in community. And so you asked the question about the roles that our elected officials play. We know that they get a chance to determine how those resources are spent, right? Like, how are we allocating our budget? And we know that as community members, we now get a chance to hold those folks accountable, which is why we have to show up. We have to show up to every city council meeting. We have to show up for every single election so that we can tell folks and that we can show them, just like we hired you, we will also fire you, right? And can I look, don't let me have church by myself.